Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Colonial Sports Center. My name is Casey Irwine, and for one last time between the two of us, this is Cam Wickline. That was our last time doing that because this is my final appearance here on Colonial Sports Center. Cam will be on for the senior show next week, but for me, this is it. And so it's going to be a good one, of course, Cam, but it's a little emotional down here.
Yeah, Case, your last one, it's a bit sad. I've always had fun, working with you here on Colonial Sports Center. But as they say, the show must go on here in this business. So in the spirit of that, let's get into some Colonial sports with the softball team. They headed over to Akron, Ohio to take on the Zips, and it was a tale of two teams, Case. Robert Morris won 27-7 in Game 1 of their doubleheader off the back of 4 home runs. Courtney Pulich, she's been a stud all year. She hit one, Mary Brandt hit one, Aglaya Rudd hit 2. That's how you get, at least in part, to the whopping offensive score of 27, where they beat Akron. And then in Game 2, the offense just didn't show up. Akron's pitcher, Maddie Jamrog, was able to keep the Colonials' bats quiet as Akron won 10-2. Maddie Jamrog went 4 innings, 2 runs. Neither of them earned 7 Ks. It was the story of 2 different teams wearing the same uniform, Case.
Yeah, Kim, that first one, you scored 27 runs. That's unbelievable. It's a football score. Season high, 22 hits, out-hit Akron by 11. The Zips committed 4 errors, RMU committed 0, and that's been a rarity for them to have so little errors. But then that second game, RMU, only 3 hits, Akron gets 13, Coleman allows 8 runs in 2.1 innings, and that's kind of been the story recently for this team is poor pitching and racking up some losses with really high scores from the other team. Let's look at how some of their recent series have gone with all these losses. You can see right here, 6 losses in these last 3 series, and in all of them, their pitching has been getting cooked. And a big story also as well is the errors in those games. In those 6 losses, 15 errors, 3 more in their loss to Akron. In those games as well, 65 total runs allowed in those 6 games. Obviously, this historic 20-0 loss. And then you had 10 more runs in that loss to Akron. So in their last 7 losses, they're averaging letting up 10 runs a game. Yeah, over 10 runs a game.
Yeah, in Case, this is obviously there's some midweek games. There's more games a series. They usually play 3 games a series. They're 4-7 over this stretch of games, but they came into that stretch 15-6. Now they're 19-13. You don't want to say the wheels are falling off of the season, but for what you could have expected this season, especially after they started conference play going 3-0, this is not where you expected the Colonials to be.
Yeah, from the defensive and pitching side of the ball, things just have to be better because there's no questions about the hitting for this team.
Yeah, the hitting has usually been there, but even as we saw, the hitting's been neutralized sometimes, and you can't expect your offense to put up 15 runs every single game. So sometimes the offense isn't showing up, and the pitching and defense just have not been there to back it up as a full team.
Yeah, but Cam, there is someone that always tends to show up, isn't there?
Yeah, we talked about it. Courtney Pulich is an absolute dog. She broke the program home run record set by... Oh, Casey, I should know who set the home run record.
Wait, who was it again?
It was her last year, Casey.
Wow.
She hit 16 home runs last year, decided to one-up herself by hitting 17, still 15 games left. Last year when she broke it, the program record was 13. She blew past that with 16. Now she's got 17. She's going to hit probably at least a couple more. I don't think I'd surprise anyone by saying she's the greatest hitter to ever wear a Robert Morris uniform. What she's been able to do is really impressive.
Yeah, certainly the best power hitter to ever wear a Colonials uniform, and it's just been unbelievable, the consistency she's had to one of the greatest seasons ever, maybe the greatest season ever in RMU softball history, and a really great RMU softball program, and then the next season smash your own records. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable, and unbelievably, we got to sit down with her here for Colonial Sports Center, so we're going to send it on over to Nick Evans, who did get to sit down with Courtney Pulich.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Courtney Pulich from the RMU softball team. We're going to get a few questions in. We're in the middle of the season. Few weeks here, winding down. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good. Yeah, we're doing good.
That's great. We're going to get right into it. Just talking about the overall season so far. You're 4th in the standings right now. What are your overall thoughts coming into today?
So we've definitely had our ups and downs for sure in this season. We're working through some things, but we're on a positive note right now, and we're all pretty positive in our situation, and coming in at fourth, we know what we have to do these next 2 weekends for conference, and we can kind of control our own destiny, so we just got to get into the tournament.
Yeah, you talked about those ups and downs. There was very high expectations coming into this season for the team, but you've lost 7 of your last 10. So how does the team get back on track, and who does it start with?
So, as you know, we won last year, and we kind of have a target on our back, obviously, as returning champs. But I think as a whole, we just need to come together, which we're doing right now, and play for each other. And I don't know if it takes a single person, but it kind of takes the whole team. It goes for hitters, pitchers, and in the field. Like, truly, as a whole, everyone just needs to come together and play as a team.
Yeah, moving over to some solo questions. So you've broken multiple records: the single-season home run record, the RBI record, I'm pretty sure, and the overall home run record for RMU softball. How big is that to you? Take me through the emotions whenever you found out that you broke those records.
So it's definitely an honor, for sure. I'm definitely, I just feel loved and supported when I break those. So it's funny that I didn't know. 2 days before I broke the career home run record, I found out that I was close to it. And I got interviewed by the Post-Gazette, and that's kind of who told me that I was close to it. And so when I hit the home run to break the record, I just heard Coach Jack screaming, "Get out ball, get out ball." And I ran around like with a big smile on my face, and it was really cool because Coach Maddie was hiding a crown in her pocket for like that whole game or that whole series because I was close. And my teammates brought the crown over, and they're like bowing down, and they put it on my head when I crossed the plate. So it was just a really cool feeling and moment at that time.
So it wasn't really in your mind until getting close to the game. So you didn't have to worry about it leading up very much.
I try to stay away from looking at stats and records. I kind of just play my game, and if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. So not just your success, but the bats overall this year have been strong. What work was put in for that, and do you think that hitting is contagious?
I definitely think hitting's contagious. Like our game at Akron, we put up 27 runs, and a lot of people had RBIs, and I think like everyone had a hit pretty much or a walk they got on base. So hitting is definitely contagious, and I think that it's just a testament that shows like how much hard work people put in the off season, preseason, in season, whether that's in the weight room, in the cage, like at practice, in games, and we constantly have conversations with each other about the pitcher, and we're scouting. So I think as a whole, people, the whole team just embraced that to win we got to hit, and that's what we're looking to do now.
Yep.
So.
Well, good luck this weekend, and we're going to send it back to the guys at the desk.
Thank you.
Thanks to Nick for sitting down with Courtney Pulich. An even bigger thank you to her for sitting down with us. Case, what a superstar.
Yeah, what a superstar she is, and hopefully with her efforts, the team will be able to turn it around. But coming up here, we are going to see some historic records from one of the teams, and a little later in the show, an exclusive interview with women's basketball coach Chandler McCabe. So stick around right here on Colonial Sports Center.
The death of George Floyd, who died in police custody Monday night.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation. It's going to take more than just us, you know, as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to help us make a change, because it just can't be us.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back here on Colonial Sports Center. Case, some record-breaking lax action. What's going on?
Yeah, it has been record-breaking for one of the teams, but first we're going to get over to women's lacrosse as they were coming off some MAC action, and that was a loss to Akron. Then they went to play crosstown rival Pitt, and in this one could not find it. 15-10 loss, still have not got a win against Pitt in their 3 matchups, and it was tied after the first, as you see. It was close going to halftime. Then you see that third quarter 6-1, and that kind of sealed it, even though Lucy Carney in net had a great day. A career high 14 saves, has had double-digit saves in her last 3 games, but just the scoring from Pitt, the shooting from Pitt was just too much for her to handle.
Yeah, on the flip side, for the men's team, they took on a struggling team in Mercyhurst. 2-11 on the year. RMU beat the snot out of them. Final score 18-5. Dylan Anderson, who's been an absolute stud, he had 4 goals. Callum Brennan had 2 goals. Nate Fetcher in goal. Only allowed 1 goal in his 38 minutes of play to 8 saves. They took him out, just get him some rest, but this game was over pretty quickly with a score of 10-0 at half.
Yeah, and Cam, that's how it's kind of been going for this men's lacrosse team, because they're the historic team we're talking about here. Right now, they're on a program record 9 consecutive wins. It has been an unbelievable run for this men's lacrosse team, and again, this is a program that has had so much success over the years, and they have continued to be so good. You know, last year when a guy like David Burley, you're thinking, wow, that is a star for this team. How do you replace that? Then a guy like Dylan Anderson comes in as a freshman. He's now a 6-time Freshman of the Week winner, scored the winner recently. He leads the NEC with 47 points, ranked 2nd in the league with 34 goals, and now this team is only 1 win away from clinching the NEC regular season title and home field advantage for the conference tournament.
Yeah, Dylan Anderson's been insane, but you don't do what this team is doing off the back of one guy. They're 10-3 on the year, 5-0 in conference. They're defending the home turf, 5-0 at the Joe. Owen Tapper, Nate Fetcher, they've both gotten NEC Defensive Player of the Week honors. This whole team's been good. On their win streak, they are outscoring teams 120-63. For the folks at home, that's a 57 positive goal differential. And in the last 3, it seems they've even hit another gear. In their last 3, the goal differential is plus 39 for the Colonials, 57-18. In terms of what they scored versus what they're giving up. This team has been on a crazy run, Case.
Yeah, it's unbelievable year after year, you know, with this team. Whether it doesn't matter who they have, their goal going into the season every year is championships in this league. And they continue to impress and continue to shoot for championships. And right now, they're the odds-on favorite to get another one.
Yeah, Casey, they're insane. It's almost a foregone conclusion at this point that Robert Morris is going to host the NEC championship. Whoever wins the regular season gets to host the tournament. So looking forward to some postseason action here on Bobby Moe's campus. When we come back, we've got a little bit of information about the women's basketball team. How's Chandler McCabe going to cook building her roster back up for next season? Don't go anywhere, because we got it here on Colonial Sports Center.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Welcome back here on Colonial Sports Center. Now, Cam, one of the big names from RMU basketball who transfer out has found a big time home.
Yeah, Ryan Prather is taking his talents to Iowa State, one of the best teams in the country, perennially a top seed once it comes to March Madness. You see Prather's numbers there on the left side of your screen, averaging 12 a game, but he was really the heartbeat of the Colonials. Anytime it seems like they needed a bucket, they went to Ryan Prather, and now it seems it's going to be that way for the Cyclones as he is going to Iowa State, a big-time transfer for Ryan Prather.
I mean, it's just unbelievable seeing, honestly, it's just big credit to Andy Toole and his team. The fact that consistently over those past few years, he has been able to find players who succeed so well on his team and then go on to major Power 4 programs. I mean, obviously, Fulgaris went to Iowa. They were in the Elite Eight. You had Dickerson and Cam Woods both go to USC. And now you see Ryan Prather, who last season was coming off of the bench, then this season finds his stroke as a starter and goes to a team that was a number 2 seed this year in the NCAA tournament. I mean, it's unreal.
I was going to say, he sent the lowest of the 4, you would say, was Alvaro Fulgaris in terms of where he went. Iowa, not exactly a basketball powerhouse, except they had a historic year for their program on the backs of Fulgaris' heroics in March Madness. The fact that those 4 players were on the same team here at Robert Morris, quite frankly, is insane. I think people are going to be talking about that Robert Morris team for decades to come, Case.
Yeah, certainly a legendary team for this school. But moving on here to the women's side of the court, we have an exclusive interview with Chandler McCabe, the head women's basketball coach, as she is getting her team on the up and up over these last couple years. So we go over to Josh Woolman, who sat down with Coach McCabe.
Thanks, guys. Today I'm joined with women's basketball coach McCabe. Coach, thank you for being here. Busy offseason so far. We were talking a little bit beforehand about all the things going on. How's this offseason been so far?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. We work 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. most days. A lot of official visits with transfers, a lot of planning. We're doing workouts with our returners, so things have been ramped up here recently.
Yeah, and speaking of ramping things up, obviously last night Miriam Traore and Ava Livingston officially announced that they were going to be returning to the team. What does it mean to get 2 not only experienced players, but 2 really skilled players? I mean, they were really present on the box score for many different categories. What's it mean to get those 2 players back?
Yeah, I mean, there's 5 players in our conference that were all conference that are returning to their schools, and we have 2 of them. And to me, it just shows how much they value and how much we push forward our relationship piece. Both of those players probably could have gone in the portal and gotten a ton of money and all that kind of stuff. And, it's well beyond that here at Robert Morris. We want to win a championship. We have the money piece to an extent, but that relationship piece is what's most important. I have an appointment today to go teach Miriam how to drive. Like, that stuff is extremely important to us here. And it just shows that our kids really value that.
And you mentioned the transfers and everything like that. The one I really wanted to talk about was the one you got from Marshall last night, Timberland Yeast. She just won a WNIT. What does it mean to also add, you talk about keeping the roster you already have, but getting to add such a really talented player like that?
Oh yeah, we're so excited about all the transfers that we bring in, but especially Tim. They couldn't get her off the floor at Marshall, and they won a championship this year. Only 3 teams in NCAA Division I get to win their last game, and she was one of them. And I think she led the team in minutes. She's a 2-way player. She does everything really well. There's not one thing she has a deficiency at. We're excited about her as a player, but most importantly, her as a winner, and she knows how to do that. And she's coming in with her sister, who's a freshman, who just won a state championship and an AAU championship. So winning is in their DNA.
Then looking ahead to next season, just kind of, I know you kind of have given catchphrases or titles to your teams, and obviously you're still assembling the team. But if you could give like a name or what your vision or goal is for next season, what would it be?
Yeah, that's a really difficult answer because we don't have our full team. But if I were to talk about it, I actually had a conversation with our strength coach, who's phenomenal as well, this morning. And there's pressures maybe put on me or the staff to win. And those pressures will never be higher than what the expectations I put on myself. And so I think we were so caught up in winning last season that we didn't fall in love with the process. And so we wanted to go from A to Z. We wanted to just win. We forgot about B, C, D, E, F, and G. And so for us, we're going to be completely fall in love with and just enamored with the process. Right now we're at A. We have to get to B. How do we get to B? As soon as we get to B, we got to get to C. And before we know it, we'll be at Z. And so for us, that's kind of what we want to fall in love with, is just get better every single day, learn and grow with the young women that we have, and just kind of let life take us where we go.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining us today and sitting down and getting to talk with us. I'm sure you're very busy, so I'm going to send it back over to the guys.
Josh, thank you for sitting down with women's basketball head coach Chandler McCabe. Big thank you to her for coming into the studio.
Yeah, great to have her sit down with us. And like I said, she's getting this program on the up and up. And once again, she has to go and rebuild the roster, and she has started to do that. She has gotten 2 new recruits for this women's basketball team. Let's see them right here. Megan Murray and Paige Greenberg. Megan Murray coming from Kent State. She's a formal WPIAL standout. And that's the thing that Coach McCabe has liked to do, get local recruits. And she is the all-time leading scorer at Hampton. Scored over 20 points per game in her senior year. At Kent State, though, in her 2 years there, did not see much playing time, does not have many stats. So we'll see if she's able to translate her play back at RMU. Now, going on to Paige Greenberg, though, this is a really interesting one. She comes from George Mason, where, of course, Coach McCabe spent 9 years there as an assistant coach, so that probably helped in this recruiting process. Now, Greenberg comes in, and last season made over 50% of her threes, and over the last 2 years, averaged over 9.5 points per game in her 52 games. So it is going to be interesting, and she has started to get this team back up after having a bunch of players graduate and then leave as well.
Yeah, Coach McCabe going to have to rebuild that roster. But, Case, when we come back here on Colonial Sports Center, it is maybe the best top 5 plays that anyone's eyes have ever seen, plus a little something that even my producer won't let me see. So there's going to be a big surprise for all of us, so don't go anywhere here on Colonial Sports Center.
Let's see women's basketball.
Found my heart out there in the open. Streets make you feel smaller. Can't help but get lost again. If I need a break, know where I'm going. Where the water's flowing, I'd rather be floating. If it's something that can count on to be free.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome here to Colonial Sports Center, my final block here on this show. And we're going top 5 plays. And Kim, that's me on the screen because this is my top 5 plays. And who does that look like?
I thought that was Peter Griffin on the screen.
Peter Griffin made an appearance, made the layup, went straight to the rim. That's how I do it.
The number 4 play of Casey Irwine's athletic career. He plays everything. He goes from basketball to soccer and a beautiful through ball. But, Casey, I don't know what the striker was doing. You hit a beautiful through ball, and the striker's flat-footed, Case.
Flat-footed, no pace, doesn't know a good pass if it hit him in the face. Now, Cam, let's quiet down. Because Casey Irwine is on the edge of the green here. He's putting it in for par. Let's see if he can find this stroke to go home. Hits it a little hard, but it's right at the pin, and it drops in par for Casey Irwine, and he is 20 over on a par 3 course.
Respectfully, Casey, I don't know if that was for par. I think that might have been for a quad bogey.
No, I can tell you that was my only par I've ever hit.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's why I made it on the top. Now we're on to the number 2 play of the week. Back on the soccer pitch, and oh my goodness, Casey! Is this football or is this soccer? What are you doing? You decked that kid.
That poor freshman had no idea what to do when a 300-pound senior tank came at him. And you know who else has no idea what to do? Joey Dramatic. Because check this out. In front of the home of the Steelers, Actors say to him, "Get out of my house." I go to the house. 6 points on the board. Touchdown. Spike the body armor. Boom. The house is down.
I can tell you, Backpack Joey's worst nightmare was meeting you in an Oklahoma drill. He is quite simply too small for you, Casey.
He's too small for anything, to be honest. And, oh my goodness, is that not the greatest top 5 plays you have ever seen? I'm really glad it was my last one.
That was the greatest top 5 I've ever seen, without a doubt, Case. Now, as we're wrapping up our last show, I want to say thank you for always being a consummate professional. I've enjoyed my time working with you. It was a blast every time I got to do it. One of the most legendary things I've ever been a part of was our laughing scene from a few months back. I know that kind of scared the people working on the show, but I just always enjoyed working with you, Case. So good luck in your future endeavors. I know you got a job lined up.
Yeah, thank you, Cam. And I hear there's a little video prepared for me by our producer. So let's see this real quick.
Hey Casey, congrats on graduating. About truthfully, we were supposed to graduate together, if you remember, and then you flaked out on me in front of Michelle Patrick. I remember that. But to be truthful, I've appreciated everything about our relationship, Casey. I didn't realize that the kid who showed up to our freshman year retreat in the Naruto hoodie and shorts in August was going to end up being one of my best friends at school. I've appreciated your wit. I've appreciated your creativity in everything that we did. I appreciated producing a show with you. I appreciated rooming with you and all that you did for me. And I am so excited to see what you're going to be able to do. Don't know why you picked radio, but you're great at it. So keep on keeping on, man. Best of luck.
Hi, Casey. I just want to let you know how proud I am of you and how wonderful it's been watching you thrive in this environment on RMU-TV. Every time I see you on camera in your element, I'm just reminded of how smart, funny, and creative you are. It's really hard for me to pick just one memory of you shining on RMU-TV because you really shine wherever you go and in whatever you do. But if I had to choose, it'd probably be you making hot dogs on Sports Talk in the Berg a couple weeks ago. You did leave our only bottle of ketchup and mustard in the newsroom fridge for like a week, but that's okay. I love you, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Love you too, Emma. Joey forgot literally my 2 best friends in the tribute package he did yesterday. So glad to see them here. It's tough that this is it, but before we go, like always, we got to have our games to watch. And we're only do mine. It's a game to watch, and my game to watch is an exciting one. It's RMU's graduation. And there's a couple players to watch. Me and Cam Wickline here. Look at those GPAs. I edge Cam on this one. 3.3 GPA, 28 skip classes, which I don't know how accurate it is. It might be more. 60 CSC appearances, 0-1 head-to-head. What does that mean?
Casey, apparently wiffle ball is what I'm hearing from our producers. I did win the wiffle ball game yesterday. What can I say? I am the greatest thing to ever happen on the planet. But that GPA is a little high.
I also think that is a lie. I definitely have appeared more on this show than you.
You definitely have. I don't know where they got either of those 2 pictures. That must be why our producers wouldn't let me see that. That was a fun little tribute, Case. Just excited. It was a fun last show. It was fun working with you all the time. Any last words before you leave RMU-TV forever?
Well, you're the one I've been paired up most with, so I want to say thank you to you. You know, you've been a great partner to have on this show as we have both grown and both gone to our future endeavors. So it's going to be an interesting one. Hope we keep in touch. But I won't be keeping in touch anymore on Colonial Sports Center. One last time, I'm Casey Irwine. That's Cam Wickline. Good night, everybody.